Hey, Hound Dogs, I'm David Hankins.
I'm Paul Hankins.
I'm Trevor Hankins.
I'm Julie Canon.
And I'm Jen Moreno.
And you're on the air with Power Squared. We're having, I was telling Paul, I was surprised, our 15th comic book club. And
Hey.
then, where has the time gone? I was just surprised there were so many. I was still stuck on about 8 or 9, and Trevor had done the thumbnail, and it was 15. Wow. Anyway, so our 15th, and we're doing.
Secret Reverse by Kazuki Takahashi.
So whose idea was this book? Recommendation?
Mine.
Okay. And you want to tell us why you picked it?
I picked it because I like Kazuki Takahashi's work, and also we so far in the comic club we haven't touched on like Marvel or DC stuff, and that Secret Reverse seemed like a good. It's an interesting mixture of American and Japanese comics, and it also seemed more accessible Marvel thing.
Okay, 'cause it's like a one shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it's a Japanese comic, it's read left to right.
Okay.
Because he wanted to do it in the American style.
Okay. Well, they literally read the other way anyway.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right. Okay. So, we all read it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Rachel, who's not here, had not read it. That was another reason why she wasn't going to be here. So I guess she wants to stand there and sit there and make funny faces. So what did we all think? I guess is the question.
I thought it was pretty good. Like, it's a good combination of, like, Marvel and obviously with Kazuki Takahashi, he's, like, the creator of, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! It was a good, like, mix of, like, what he already knows in terms of what he's done before, and then adding a bit of a Marvel mix to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting to see how he interprets the superheroes to his style. It's kind of, there's some parts where it looks kind of odd, but it's part of his way of expressing exaggeration. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, that's kind of weird, but that looks about right for his style.
Is it more because, like, you're not used to, like, say, like Iron Man drawn in that aesthetic, or is it more of just, like...
No, I know how superheroes have like are posed very exaggerated to express that certain action, but it's also like there's the part where Mr. Stark is kind of getting choked on the stage.
Yeah, I was just like,
contorted a little bit. But it's like, yeah, Takahashi, that's a style of saying how intense the scene is.
Yeah, like I got like the old school Yu-Gi-Oh vibes when I was looking at that part. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot how dark Yu-Gi-Oh can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
the pre-Duel Monsters era.
Yeah.
like four kids lied to me.
Yeah.
Well, even in Duel Monsters, there was that whole duel with Arcana where there was like a saw blade.
Yeah.
Like I saw the saw blade, I'm just like, is Homeboy gonna transcend Spider-Man to the demon realm or to spirit realm or what? I mean, that's a valid way to take someone there.
I remember.
Do you need context for that?
Who, me?
Oh, for which one? The wheel or the?
I'm the only one here who didn't grow up with Yu-Gi-Oh. So.
In Duelist Kingdom, there's a duel against a rare hunter named Arcana. And it's
that Arcana's Battle City.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Battle City. In Battle City, there's a duel against a rare hunter named Arcana, and part of it is that he and Yugi are chained by the ankle to this arena type thing, and there's these saw blades that inch closer to their legs the more life points they lose.
Okay.
In the 4Kids dub, it was changed to be this special thing that sends you to the Shadow Realm.
Okay.
There was also a point in Yu-Gi-Oh where before it became like an official kids show thing, and Kaiba had green hair.
I forgot about that.
Where instead of like Shadow Realm, dual monsters and cards and all that, it was that the main character would play different types of games like yo-yo, dice, all this kind of games, but there would be actual real danger where the person could die, and they obviously changed it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. We
and
also
I
have a
feel like
deadly
this is
sport.
kind of part of that being brought up again.
I remember Kazuki Takahashi mentioned he had a background in graphic design, and because of that, he always approached panels like a graphic design. So I could kind of see that when rereading this.
Yeah.
Actually, when I read him saying that, I actually started to notice that more with his art. It's like it even applies to panel layouts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say though, like when I was like reading through it too, for some of the characters like Hiromi and the little boy. What was the little boy's name again? I'm looking for it right now.
Masaru.
Yeah. I also aside from obviously like the art style of a Kazuki, I also got a bit of Shigenori Soejima, who's the artist for Persona, especially for like the characters like Hiromi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a bit of like
Yeah.
like a I was like, why am I also thinking Persona about this? Persona is a Japanese RPG game where it's primarily it's like a novel type game with a hint of like RPG.
I
Battle
assume you're saying that for my
mechanics.
benefit. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you guys could talk about stuff, and
Right.
I was like, Yukari, what are you doing here?
Excuse me.
She also her design also made me think a little of her design also made me think a little of Taya Gardner.
Yeah.
Like the whole arcade scene reminded me of when Yugi and her went to the date, and that it was like she went to the stage to dance. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
I think this is pretty much like touching upon those like previous times that he worked on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like I do like it takes like how going back to the comic, it does go back in terms of the dramatization, like with how Marvel is, and also has like that flair, especially with Yu-Gi-Oh, and how dramatic it can be, especially for just a card game.
So, are
Yeah.
these kid characters in this characters from Yu-Gi-Oh?
They are original
No.
to.
As far as I
Okay,
know.
I'm just trying.
There are a couple of small Yu-Gi-Oh cameos towards the
It's not
beginning. Though.
Yeah.
Are there?
I'm like,
Yeah,
hey, Wheeler, what are you doing here?
and a couple of panels you can see Mai and Joey.
I saw Joey. I didn't see Mai.
She's like in the same panel as Joey's first appearance, I think.
Like in the very beginning.
Yeah.
What the heck? Am I blind? I see
Yeah.
Joey. How could I not see Mai?
Oh, yeah, I see. She's right next to him.
Eh?
On,
Like my Valentine.
Yeah.
I am
No.
blind as a bat. What? No, I'm seriously blind. Like,
Oh, the one where
wait, are we on? Like, we're looking at the same panel here.
no, it's the one where he transforms
Wait.
back into a suit.
Back into his suit.
Bottom,
Oh, when he comes
Yeah,
out of
bottom
the.
left.
when he comes
Okay,
out
now
of
I
the
see. Okay, now I see. I didn't see Joey in that. It was the page before the one I showed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I am blind. Every time I just think of Joy, I just think of him saying "Time Wizard."
Anyway, with Secret Reverse, I noticed they didn't really explain how Secret Reverse works exactly, but I kind of figured that wasn't the point of the story.
Yeah, all I got from him is okay. So you choke your opponent for 1 minute, and if they survive, you go to the next round. Is that how it goes? So when the person dies, yeah, that means you won.
Well, like, there was I had a similar issue with, like, I don't know I have no idea how Secret Reverse actually plays. I had a similar issue with, I liked the Dark Side of Dimensions movie for the most part as a fan, but when they had the whole dimension duel thing, they didn't really explain too well how that worked. So ended up just being like, well, it's full attack anyway, so what does it matter?
Yeah, because I can see like especially like when you're working on stuff, there's usually a deadline, so I can kind of see where you would have to like cut off certain plot points.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just got confused. So like, if you're using Tony Stark as the example for strangling someone for a minute, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot more casualties for simple civilians if this thing was ever out
Yeah.
in the market. So I'm looking at going like, I understand like this card dude is like the big deal in this universe, but also it's kind of concerning how people are celebrating someone almost dying.
Yeah.
As a non-Yu-Gi-Oh reader, I was having a hard time with the fact that Tony Stark would show up at a card convention or whatever this is supposed to be.
True.
Well,
isn't he like the only thing I can see is like he's an like the other dude was an inventor, but I don't think that was established until they went to like the showcase or something, right?
Yeah, I just have a hard time thinking that this guy that races cars at Monte Carlo is going to go to a card show.
He was there because, if I recall, because Hiromi invited him, and Peter Parker had to talk him into it by mentioning the tech part.
I just sort of was like, I just don't see him doing that. But
What did you think of Takahashi's interpretation of Peter Parker?
I don't know whether to give him Tom Holland's voice or what's the other dude? Who's the other dude? Tobey Maguire's voice.
Yeah, I also I also went between the two in my head.
I want to think canonically it's Tom Holland because Iron Man, but also I'm confused.
Although I think Peter Parker being into card games would be very in character for him.
yeah, that makes sense.
I can totally see that.
So would we recommend it? Obviously, if you've read Yu-Gi-Oh, you would, I assume.
Yeah, I would recommend it. Like if you're into like the like manga scene and Marvel scene, and you're looking for something like I guess like fresh. Yeah.
For a one shot, I would say yes. With it in mind having the Yu-Gi aspect, because the whole Secret Reverse Machine Deathall is kind of like, well, why would this be an attractive item to sell to people? But I would assume that that's like the idea that he wanted to not say directly. Where in Yu-Gi-Oh there's dual discs, and when you play the cards on the dual disc, there will be holographs of those cards onto like the space in front of you. That will be the field.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was maybe what he wanted to like do with the story.
Yeah, there were sort of hints
if you don't know about that aspect, then it's like, well, I don't understand why this is happening, kind of thing.
Yeah, sort of hints of the original dual disc.
Kaio, right?
What?
The bad guy's name was Kaio, right?
Yeah.
he in some ways, when he's evil, he is somewhat reminiscent of Kaiba.
Yeah.
Like if Kaiba actually like took over everything and didn't have a moral compass to
Yeah.
like hone him to not be a total asshole.
Yeah.
Sorry for cursing.
Wow, thanks. Now we're gonna be.
No.
I think I would recommend Secret Reverse, especially to fans of Takahashi's work.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the graphic design approach to the like page layouts also helps it. It's especially evident in the battle in like the second half of it.
Yeah.
I think that also helps it stand out from other like Marvel comics that I've seen,
Yeah.
as that gives it a very different flair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say I really do like the rendering of some of the pages as well, like especially with the detail in this one here. Like especially like with the lighting and everything, I was like, holy crud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like one shot that I liked was when Spider-Man is fighting Kaio and you see his like swing divided between like multiple panels.
Yeah, the insert of like, oh, by the way, I can also summon 5 monsters at once. I'm like, I feel like that's just a plot. That was like a very added plot device, and I got confused as heck. Like, huh?
All right.
What did you think?
I don't have this Yu-Gi-Oh background. I wasn't really that blown away by it personally, but I am actually 1 out of 5, so 4 out of 5. Dentist recommended. So I would be the 5th dentist, but it's just me. So yeah, discount me because I'm didn't grow up in the Yu-Gi-Oh world.
But like, just like going into it on your own, just like without any context of, like, say Kazuki, like, what would you say? Like, it's just like a neutral expression in terms of like the reading and the plot and everything.
I had a hard time believing that Iron Man would take the time to show up at
That's
this thing.
actually, yeah, that's valid. Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah.
So it just seemed like a little forced that he would be there.
Yeah.
And didn't have
My
the story.
my copium is thinking because of the fact that Japan is very like technologically advanced. Maybe like Tony went there out of curiosity and wasn't expecting the gaming convention, but that's just being a stretch. That's just copium for me.
All right, well, make it work for you. Okay,
So
so
it's more like a fan comic than anything. Or like,
I will say the retort was just like, you shouldn't be selling these on the market, and then like the guy retorts like, well, you sell nuclear weapons. I'm just like, there's the conflict. I'm like, I mean, 2 different ballparks still, but I guess it's there.
it's a little different in
Yeah.
some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sells weapons to the military. This homeboy's selling stuff that'll kill civilians.
Yeah, I mean, but you're selling it to civilians as opposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little different level of. It's like when Elon Musk came up with a flamethrower to sell to people. It's like, what the hell?
I do at the back of this were 2 letters Takahashi wrote about working on it, and I think reading those is also a good part of the experience because you can tell how grateful he was to be working on it, and how you can really tell he was a fan of the characters.
Yeah, I always noticed this like a lot in manga. I've seen it in a couple of like Western comics too. Is like with mangaka, whenever they either finish a volume or like a chapter or something, they'll always like write little like notes and stuff to the audience that they're looking at it. Like I think it's a pretty like it's a good thing like to show like, oh, the person you're making this is a human being, and they're very appreciative for everyone who reads it.
Yeah.
Interesting thing. One of the letters is that Takahashi said that if he had gotten the offer to do that comic after he had seen Endgame, then he would have turned it down.
Boy,
I mean, fair. It's okay. This is a different universe for everything's okay.
I not seen Endgame, so that just goes over my
What?
head.
All right.
You haven't
I
seen Endgame?
I personally dabble in Marvel, but if you were to try to ask me for like a timeline, I'm just like, I know that I know Spider-Man has like a wholesome personality and Deadpool at the time, depending on the Spider-Man you talk about.
You haven't seen Endgame?
No, I have not.
All right.
Wow. Okay. I don't know why that speaks volumes to me. Okay.
All right, later.
Yeah, I guess it's been nice having you on the show. Now, what?
Listen, I haven't seen Deadpool 2 or 3 either, so.
Well,
I've
that's,
seen
that's
Deadpool
different.
1.
Endgame was like.
That was fun, but
I
I think
was gonna
Endgame
say,
was
I was gonna say what he said about Endgame without spoiling it. He said it was because I think he said it was because he thought Endgame was good. He thought Endgame something like a perfect conclusion to Tony Stark's arc.
Yeah.
Which you wouldn't know what that is, so we won't go into it. Wow. Have you seen everything leading up to that, or do you?
Like every now and then, like I haven't watched them in order, but it's like I mainly see it if either my friends kidnap me or my dad says, "Hey, we're gonna watch a movie," and I'm like, "Huh, okay."
Okay. No, I was talking to Jen.
Oh, sorry.
She's the one who
I
hasn't seen
hear,
Endgame. Did you see the movie
yeah, I hear
before that?
pieces here and whatever.
Well, I'm like, we spent like, we watched everyone in order in a theater, in a big screen, watched them at home, blah, blah, blah. And the fact that you haven't seen Endgame sort of shocks
Yeah,
me.
like DC, Marvel, I hear bits and pieces, but I never grew up with it or was influenced to like watch it. And the most accessible thing when I grew up was anime and manga, so that's what I veered to more
Okay. So
than
Fair
you
the
enough, I
watch,
other.
guess.
you don't watch any of the Marvel movies that's ever coming out?
So no,
All right.
So,
I just hear bits
so
and
if
pieces
you,
like from my sister and my
so if you didn't see the
husband.
movie leading up to Endgame, then Endgame wouldn't make any sense. So,
Yeah.
okay. That's,
You can't watch Endgame by itself.
yeah, you have to watch. It's what, 20 films in a row. Yeah. So start
20
now
something.
by next month. What?
20 something.
20 something game. Yeah. I mean, we were like pretty much dedicated to watching all those as they came out. So
Anyway, any
wow.
final thoughts about Secret Reverse?
Oh, we're
It's a
back to
good
that. Okay. Again, 4 out of 5. And if Rachel was
Sure.
here, I'm sure she would have. Well, she hadn't read it, so.
Hmm.
All right. Anything else?
I would say you would definitely get more enjoyment out of it if you're a fan of Takahashi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that's it, then
Oh, we have the next one.
yeah.
Whose turn is it? It's Julia's, right?
Oh, it's me.
Yeah, you. So what do you
Yes.
got? You've been
uh,
prepping.
Let's see. That is an excellent question. What do I have? I'll get back to you on that. I don't know yet.
Okay.
Right.
Wow. You act like you were surprised by the fact. Of the choice. All right. That's fine. So you'll let us know soon.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
And Rachel, no. So
Mhm.
okay.
I'll probably just tag everyone in the Discord saying, "Read this."
Okay.
Right.
Seems fair.
Alright, so if you are watching this on YouTube, what?
I was on Takahashi. I was trying to look through this for a good example of his
It's Yui boy.
for a good example of his graphic design style.
Yeah.
I think this is a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will always I will always like his rendering style when it comes to coloring. It's like it's a combination of like cell, but also it's still like heavily rendered.
You have those things on the wall, right?
Yeah.
They draw those?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is also the back of Dual Art.
Yeah. Alright, so if you're watching this on YouTube later and you like this, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and leave a comment below if you have any opinions of your own about Secret Reverse or Kazuki Takahashi's work.
All right.
Comment card game if you've reached the end of the video.
Yes.
Okay. So, if we're all done, until next time, I'm David Hankins.
I'm Paul Hankins.
Trevor Hankins.
I'm Julia Cannon.
And I'm Jen Moreno.
And you've been on the air with Power Squared. Bye.
Bye.